How's it going, everyone? Ukodox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about The Flash, Season 8, Episode 10, titled Reckless. Gee. Oh, my lord. This episode, more like the ending of this episode. Anyway. So Iris finds out that there's some bad news when it comes to her time sickness, and so she hits the distress signal on her laptop, summoning Barry, where Dion then explains that it's probably due to him reversing the treatments during Armageddon in the other timeline. Uh, he feels guilty, but no, Iris and Barry are like, no, this was the only way to prove Barry's innocence. Uh, and so Dion's like, no, you need to stay within Coast City, right? So things don't get worse. Now, Iris continues to help Tanya. She goes to the adoption agency that handled Tanya's adoption. And there they find out that there's a no contact rule in place. And the only way to override it is for the board of directors to be involved. Conveniently enough, the chairman of the board is Sue Dearborn's uncle. Whether this is biological or just an honorary uncle type thing, we don't know. Sue literally pulls out her phone, calls Leroy, and is like, "Yeah, I need your help. We're helping a friend now." And like, she gives it to the lady at the desk, and he overrides the thing, right? He gives the override, and so she's like, she copies the files, gives them to Iris, and she's like, "I need a break," right? Like this woman's just like, the chairman of the board just got called, man. I need a break, right? So she goes to get coffee. Unfortunately, when she comes back, everything in the room is gone. Right now, we know that this is an effect of Iris's time sickness. Uh, and it's kind of freaky. Sorry, I'm laughing because it's fucking hilarious that Sue's uncle is the chairman of the board. Like of all the things, that's too funny. I probably shouldn't be smiling for the rest of this video because yeah. Anyway, so they do find Tanya's mother. Renee is her name. Renee Wazo. Tanya manages to meet her mom, and her mom apparently has the not safe for YouTube parenting skills of her parents. So Tanya's grandparents are just yeah. Tanya's grandparents are very much yeah. Anyway, they convinced Tanya's mom, they convinced Renee that giving up the child was for the best, and that's Renee's biggest regret. Now, while Renee and Tanya are having the conversation, Iris gets a massive ass headache, right? And so Renee goes to check up on her. She's like, "Are you okay?" The moment Renee makes contact with Iris's knee, Iris's eyes glow still force green, and Renee gets vaporized. Oh fuck! She goes the way Dion does when he does the snap. I love that. I love that. It reminds me of Emet-Selch from Final Fantasy XIV. He's just who's also got a habit of just snapping for everything. So Tinya's like, "What did you do to my mom?" Right? Like it's just like, what the fuck? that's where Axe's storyline ends for today's episode. I'm probably gonna have more in the coming episodes. Probably not. Who knows? Um. Now, whoop, gotta rewind a bit. By a bit, a lot. Remember, there's two storylines. We got the Black Flame storyline, and we got the Iris is deleting the universe storyline. Back to the Black Flames! Frost is making art. There, she gets attacked in the apartment, and she gets attacked. Uh, she gets attacked by the Black Flame, and it like the first time she's gonna get attacked is she has like a singular bead of sweat, and so she questions it, like, why am I sweating? Now when she gets attacked, it manages to burn her arm, right, like right here, which is scary. Like, this is Frost. So she heads to the med bay at Star Labs to get it treated. She can't find Caitlin's bandages. Now Barry, Cecile, Joe, Allegra, and Chester are talking about the case, and Joe mentions Kramer has given us all the case files for mysterious fire fire victims and whatnot, so they can see, does anyone match the thing. While this is happening, they get the SR-37, I believe is the code, where someone has broken into the med lab, and Allegra asks, like, wait, what is this? And Chester just says, yeah, someone's in the med lab. Is in the med bay. And so Barry runs off, right? And when he gets there, he sees Frost, and Frost, like, just casually, like, hey, do you know where Katie keeps the bandages? They're on the desk. So he's like, here, let me help, right? It's like the Black Flames attacked her. Now Frost then goes to see Carla Tannhauser, her mother. And they come up with a plan. Well, Frost comes up with a plan and convinces her mom to use Frost as bait. Now, when her and Carla bring this up with the team, with the rest of the team, minus Caitlin and Iris. Yes, minus Caitlin and Iris. And obviously Joe and Cecile, because they're off doing the detective work with all the case files since the particle accelerator exploded. Anyway, so Barry is against the thing while Carla and Frost are explaining it. He's against it, mostly because he's freaking out over Iris. Yeah, like it's really obvious he's freaking out over Iris. And it's kind of, but they go through with it now. When it happens, when the plan is set in motion, they're gonna use the container for the ASF. They repurposed it for cold fusion, cryokinetics, and all of this. So they can use Frost as bait. Now, it kind of sort of works. It comes into the speed lab, but then it hesitates, and so Frost, being reckless, as is the name of the episode. Frost is very, very reckless this episode. Blasts it with cryokinesis, right? She hits it with ice, and so it retaliates and attacks her, like a split-second attack, and then runs off. This knocks Frost literally on her ass because she rolls. Well, Caitlin comes in, and she is fuming. Right, Caitlin is fuming. She rips into Frost for having no value of her own life. She rips into Carla for for not seeing Frost as her daughter and just seeing her as an experiment. Uh, she is right on both accounts. Frost is just like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, she's just like, I don't care. Like, Frost is very I don't care-ish when it comes to it. Um, but Caitlyn manages to convince Carla a bad idea. Here, Joe has a heart-to-heart with Barry, and Barry comes to the realization his objections aren't based on Frost; they're based on what's going on with Iris. This is just confirmation that of what I said earlier, that Barry's freaking out over Iris, not really Frost. Um. Okay, so after this, or while this is happening, while the heart between Joe and Barry is happening, Carla reveals that because of what Icicle, she talks with Frost, trying to talk her down, mentioning that Frost is very much like her father. And when Frost replies with psychopathic killer, gee, thanks, right? Like, it's like, no, not Icicle, Thomas. She's talking about like the actual father, not the experiment gone wrong. Because that's essentially what Icicle is. He's an experiment gone wrong. Um, in that he would help, Thomas apparently would help just anyone, consequences to himself be damned, which that's what heroes do. I hate to say that, just because, y'all know me, I don't like unnecessary death, but that's what heroes do. They help people, consequences be damned. A la Wally West from Young Justice, who helped save the world and erased himself from existence. Sort of. He just kind of. You guys should go watch Young Justice. It's amazing. Wait, today's Thursday. There's 2 episodes. Shit, I need to watch that. Anyway, now Carla also reveals she has cryogenes because of Icicle putting her in the cryo chamber. Um, so they hatch a plan to use both of them as bait and to end this once and for all. Now, Caitlyn has been listening and she tentatively agrees to this. And so the plan goes into motion. Now, it works. Unfortunately, as it's trying to escape at about 85% capacity, it starts to lose the machine. The containment unit starts to lose integrity. And Carla starts to go into cardiac arrest. Now, Frost makes a judgment call, and the right judgment call. She saves her mom and lets the Fargo go free. Now the Black Flame has this like skull-like visage to it. It's so it's a bit odd. Like, I'm like, wait, what's going on? Anyway, now when Joe finds this out, at first he's mad, but that was before he knew it was a judgment call. And he tells Frost as much. Yeah, I was mad, but that was before I knew it was a judgment call, and definitely the right one. Now, Carla is staying over at Caitlyn and Frost's apartment, where, for the night, just to make sure she's all okay, Caitlyn gets a call, and Frost says, let's go to brunch instead of dinner. And they have, like, a very nice moment between Carla and Frost, and they hug it out. Uh, Carla wants to know Frost better. Frost would like that. I finally noticed this episode, actually this particular scene. Frost has brown eyes now. The, instead of the normal, like, not brown eyes, she now has Danielle Panabaker's normal brown eyes. Um which is cool. Uh It's a nice little touch that since she has her own separate body, when her powers aren't being actively used, she has brown eyes. That's a nice little touch. I liked it. Anyway, now while Frost and Carla are having brunch, um, Caitlin is making herself tea slash coffee, and the lights are flickering. Wait, shit. So as the lights are flickering, the black flame shows up, and it drops a line mentioned by one Ronnie Raymond a few seasons back. Wait, is the Black Flame Ronnie Raymond? Maybe. It's looking like it. I know Ronnie Raymond's supposed to come back this season, so it could be. But the thing is, why Ronnie, even when Stein was in control of his body because of the whole craziness with Firestorm before the separation slash fusion slash refusion, proper fusion, uh, was it a murdering psychopath? So I'm very confused. I don't think it actually is Ronnie, unless this is just Ronnie without the morals, ethics, or really most emotions. Um, it's weird, but yeah. So the Black Flame is possibly Firestorm, or at least half of Firestorm. Um, which mm, makes no sense to me. Um, how are they gonna do this? I I'm very confused on like where they're going with this. Um, I know that this graphic novel, like the Black Flame storyline, is supposed to be like roughly 5 episodes. So we've got like two more or three more, something like that. Uh, but like, yeah, I think it's two more. I just is that how they're gonna end the storyline? With the Black Flames becoming Ronnie and just all's well that ends well? Is that where we're going with this? Um, I don't know. I really don't know. The episode was amazing overall. We got to see Carla again. We got to see a one-on-one with between Carla and both daughters. Technically, she got reamed out by Caitlin while Frost was outside of the room, and she had multiple just like heart-to-hearts with Frost, and they made a connection. I like seeing things like this, right? Like, and the best part is nobody died. That's like the greatest part of this well, okay, not nobody died, but we don't know if Renee's alive or dead at the moment, but we're gonna go under the assumption that nobody died this episode. This is amazing. Usually character development somehow involves someone dying for reasons that cannot be fathomed. As if knocking them on their ass and putting them in a coma for 2 days wouldn't have done the exact same shit. See, this is what your reckless actions caused. They were unconscious for 2 whole fucking days. No one wants to see their loved ones knocked unconscious for 2 days over their own fuck up. You don't have to kill a character, just knock them unconscious for 2 days or something. Right? We got some development and nobody died. That's amazing. Now, I won't say the episode was a 10 out of 10. There are some confusing bits in this episode, but yeah, it was an amazing episode overall. These videos need to stop being 20 minutes long. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought of the episode down in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright.